Hey there, I'm the MadCatster. My glad to see you here. Well, some of you might remember a couple of months ago the controversy surrounding the viral TikTok pink sauce and the explosion of sales. And then there were complaints and controversy because people were saying that the colors were inconsistent and some of them had bubbles, and people were afraid that the shipping wasn't refrigerated so that it was going bad. Somebody alleged they got sick. Well, after all that controversy, you are not going to believe the twists in this story because we have two of them, and I'm going to tell you all about it with my pal Sybil the Enforcer, who is back and on the mend. So let's get into it. So as you can see, Sybil the Enforcer is back with me and purring away. And she's on the mend. Thank you so much for all your good wishes. She's feeling much better since the medications have kicked in. She's got a few years left in her yet, and she says please like and subscribe because she's going to be keeping that naughty list for a while, and you don't want to be on the naughty list. So anyways, let's talk about the pink sauce. So you guys probably remember, or not if you've been hiding under a rock, there was all a buzz in social media a couple of months ago because Chef P, this TikTok creator, had created her pink sauce that supposedly was delicious on everything, and she ended up with 154 million views. That got the notice of a lot of people. People started to order it. She started to make it. From what I understood, she was making it out of her house, which led to some problems. And in fact, at one point, somebody alleged that it had made them sick. One beauty influencer, Allured Beauty, actually did a review video of the pink sauce, and she was pretty fair, I thought. However, what she noticed was, I guess there was some discoloration in hers, I think, but she also noticed, because somebody pointed out to her, that there was glitter in hers. And then there were people complaining that the colors were different, and apparently it wasn't refrigerated in shipping, and the label had several errors in it. In short, there were a lot of complaints, and so it sort of blew up into this controversy. Chef P went on a rant, and at one point said something about the FDA, and she didn't need to have anything to do with the FDA because she didn't produce medication or something like that. And in fact, for those of you who aren't aware, the F in FDA stands for food. So yes, they do supervise food safety. And so there was a whole lot of negative press, and you would think that that would be the death knell for any product or any business. And you would think, however, there are two twists to this story. So Sybil ran back upstairs, but I'm sure she'll be back in a few minutes. So you would think that would be the end of the story, right? Well, the first thing I want to say is, if that's all you need to do to get yourself a successful business, I'm going to go ahead and start my own, and I'm going to start a blue sauce. And I think for my spokesperson, I will get none other than Papa Smurf, Austin McBroom himself, to be my mascot. What do you think? No, I'm just kidding. In order to combat some of the criticism, Chef P went on a talk show called The Caramo Show, and they invited Allured Beauty, who had been one of many, let me just clarify, critics of the way that this rollout of this sauce took place. And it was really sort of like to clear the air, but that's not how it went, because the host of the show and Chef P proceeded to basically gang up on Allured Beauty, made it sound like she was the bad guy for criticizing Chef P for having a product that maybe wasn't following the correct safety standards, in my opinion. And the fact that people had legitimate complaints and weren't just hating on her. And that, I love how some people turn criticism of legitimate things into you're a hater. That happens all the time. So people had legitimate criticisms, and these were people who actually bought this stuff. So Chef P went on to the Caramo Show, and Allured Beauty came on, and basically, I'll show you a clip here. And if you want a more thorough analysis or discussion of what happened in the talk show, Atozy made it. Edith is playing with my microphone. Atozy made a couple of great videos, and I'll put a link down in the description if you want to go look at that. But here's a clip from the talk show. One point that I thought was probably the cringiest moment
The thing is, if you knew I had a problem with it, you could have contacted me and I could have turned around. And I'm not a hateful person. I could have been like, wow, Chef P contacted me.
So you're saying that you contacted me?
No, I'm saying you didn't contact me.
Okay, but why would I contact someone who's fabricating something on the internet?
But nothing was fabricated.
To be honest, you're not special.
I think this is a moment of reflection.
Absolutely, and I think it's a moment of learning on both parts.
I think the learning is more on your part, and that's being real. And this being real here.
So Allured Beauty basically was allured into a trap, and they basically ganged up on her. And so they basically were making it sound like she was a bully and mean for criticizing Chef P and bringing up the problems she had with the pink sauce, and how dare she, this woman's trying to start a business and blah blah blah, and blaming her for like all the hate she was getting. It's like, well, first of all, she was one of many critics, and she wasn't the only critic. Basically, the host is turning it around and saying, no, this isn't a learning experience for Chef P. It's only a learning experience for you not to be so mean. Not, oh, Chef P, maybe next time you ought to get your product inspected, make sure it's safe, make sure you're shipping it correctly, make sure that the label's correct, etc. No, 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 no. It's the people who criticize the mistakes that are the bad guys. So, when we're talking about food, we're talking about people's health and safety. People can get sick. I don't know. I have no confirmation that someone actually got sick, but that was the allegation. But there's apparently some people were alleging that it was spoiled even if they didn't get sick. So this totally backfired, this appearance on the Karamo show. And in fact, the Karamo show got so much backlash and so much negativity because everyone could see that the way that they handled this was not the correct way to do it. You don't just blame the haters when there's a legitimate cause at the root of the criticism, okay? And so they actually eventually took that episode down. That's how bad it was. That's not all of it. So you would think, okay, so now we've got, I would have called that strike two. So you've got the rollout that, in my opinion, was bungled. You've got Chef P, who's, in my opinion, being extremely arrogant and not seeming to learn her lesson, and criticizing the people who are basically, she should have taken as constructive critics and taken that and improved what she was doing and maybe apologized if something went wrong. But no, she came out guns a-blazing, blaming everybody else for her alleged failures, in my opinion. So you would think that this appearance where they bullied Allured Beauty would further put a damper on her business. But no, the biggest twist of all is what I'm about to show you here. So hold on to your seats. So as you can see here, my friends, the pink sauce has found its way to a brand deal. And the tagline is, after being accused of poor food safety precautions, the viral pink sauce will now be sold commercially by Dave's Gourmet Sauces. They talk about how recently Dave's Gourmet Sauce announced that it will produce pink sauce on a commercial scale starting this fall to market a shelf-stable version that is less complicated, dairy-free, and clean of any preservatives, artificial colors, or flavors. So, bravo. I mean, that's the way it should have been. This is exactly what you want. You want, when you go into the supermarket and you buy condiments, they're not usually in the refrigerator. You've got your ketchup, your mayo, your mustard, and those things don't need to be refrigerated because of the way they're produced. And that's what Dave Sauce is saying. They're going to take and produce the pink sauce in a way and in a recipe that will make it stable to be on the shelf like those other condiments. I think this probably bodes well for Chef P for tremendous success, and I wish her all the best. However, it's just really weird to me that something could go so wrong at the beginning and turn into such a success story. And I would caution Chef P, if you're listening, in the future, when people have a constructive criticism related to something that's factually occurred with a product that you sold them, maybe you should listen, take a deep breath, put on your humble hat, and graciously accept the criticism and see how you can do better, rather than just turning around, bullying your critics, and trying to make it sound like the only thing wrong in this situation is them. Because it's not, because they had a legitimate concern. And luckily, It didn't result in a catastrophe or anybody, as far as I know, getting seriously ill. So you would hope this would be a lesson learned. I don't know. I don't know if she's got it in her to be a humble person or to be a lesson learner, or if she's just stubborn and going to continue to bully her way through her career. But anyways, that's my opinion. Those are the facts as well. And she's now got a brand deal and stands to turn this into a really successful business. Let me know down in the comments, have you tried the pink sauce? Will you try the pink sauce once it comes out in its new version? I don't know if I'll try it. Not because of anything negative about the product, but it's not really my kind of thing. I'm not a huge, like, smother my food in sauce person. So let me know what you think. There's a link here to my first pink sauce video. If you want to take a look, it gives you a little bit more background on the issues that it had. And down in the description, there's a link to 2 of Atozy's videos that talk more in depth about this talk show scandal that happened. So see, I told you Sybil would come back. She's feeling so much better. She's like herself, which makes me very happy. So the first thing I want to do is say thank you very much to Alice. Alice sent us some cat treats, some shrimp ones, which they absolutely love. And Alice, thank you so much for your kind gift and your generosity. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that sent us stuff. We really love to get these things. Sybil loves to get them. She was eating the shrimp treats tonight. I also want to thank all of our channel members who have stuck with us and the Patreon patrons who provide much needed funds to help pay the cat's monthly vet bill. And I do really, really appreciate that. I appreciate all of you. Sybil says, please like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. She would really appreciate it. Look at that face. How could you not love that face? She's such a good girl. And my little squirt is sitting right here on the floor. But I do have the Halloween video coming. Unfortunately, it's been freaking raining and gray here for 3 days in a row. And it's totally making me feel so bleh. And unfortunately, what I want to film is outside, and I don't really want to do it in the rain. But if it doesn't let up in the next day or two, I'm going to have to go make a Halloween video outside anyway. Thank you so much, you guys, for everything. We really appreciate it. I've got I know some of you are going to cringe, an A's Family video coming because they finally are going to let us inside their new house, and we're going to see how it compares to the ostentatious, overpriced money pits that they've been living in. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next one.
Pretty please. Subscribe, like, and hit the bell. I get a treat for every new sub. Thank you.